The FBI's unexpected visit to Hulk Hogan's mansion has uncovered something so startling that fans and investigators alike are struggling to process it.
Goat!
Known for his larger-than-life persona in the wrestling world, Hogan's private life has now been thrust into the spotlight, and not for reasons anyone imagined. What should have been a routine inquiry has spiraled into a jaw-dropping revelation, sparking endless questions and wild speculation. But what exactly did the FBI discover inside his luxurious home, and why is everyone saying this changes everything? It's a mysterious death that stunned the world. On the quiet morning of July 24th, 2025, the world didn't just lose a wrestling icon, it lost an American cultural titan. Terry Gene Bollea, better known by millions as Hulk Hogan, is found dead in his home in Clearwater, Florida. At the age of 71, though retired from the ring for years, Hogan remained a towering figure in pop culture. His signature mustache, bandana, and booming catchphrases had long transcended the world of sports entertainment. But while tributes poured in from around the world, the circumstances surrounding his death triggered something deeper: suspicion. What began as a routine welfare check by his son, Nick Hogan, quickly spiraled into something far more chilling. Hulk's wife, Sky Daly, was away on a short wellness retreat. Nick simply wanted to stop by and see his father. But when he entered the home, what he found was a haunting scene. Hulk Hogan, unresponsive, lying alone in his home gym place that had always reflected his iron will, discipline, and undying strength. Paramedics arrived swiftly. CPR was performed. He was rushed to Morton Plant Hospital. But at precisely 11:17 a.m., the man who had once told the world to train, say your prayers, and eat your vitamins was pronounced dead. Initially, it was assumed to be a natural death, perhaps a heart attack or stroke, given his age and physical history. But something at the scene didn't sit right, and that's when the FBI was quietly called in. At first glance, there were no signs of forced entry, no signs of a struggle, no obvious trauma. But the gym, usually cluttered with weights, water, bottles, and towels, was pristine. Too pristine. One agent described it as eerily sterile, almost staged. Even more troubling, the home's sophisticated security system, including multiple high-definition surveillance cameras in motion, sensors had been completely deactivated. FBI agents noted there was no sign of malfunction or hacking. It had been manually turned off from inside the house. For a man as security-conscious as Hogan, this made no sense. Sheriff Daniel Miller of the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office acknowledged the FBI's involvement during a tense press briefing. This is no longer just a local case. There are elements here that raise serious red flags. The family answers, and the truth must come out. From that moment on, the investigation escalated. The FBI's cybercrime unit began combing through Hogan's digital footprint, phone records, browsing history, smart home logs, and encrypted messages. Simultaneously, agents secured forensic evidence from the home, seeking even the smallest trace that could point to foul play. Then came a chilling revelation from Nick Hogan. Just a day before his death, Hulk Hogan received a mysterious phone call that left him visibly shaken, according to his son Nick. The FBI traced the call to an untraceable number routed through foreign servers, making it a key part of their investigation. Though the contents remain secret, the incident has sparked widespread speculation, with theories ranging from personal vendettas to ties with powerful figures. The case is now being treated as a potential homicide. As autopsy and toxicology results are awaited, investigators believe the true story may lie in secrets Hogan took to his grave as the world mourns. The FBI works quietly but relentlessly in the background. One thing is clear: the final chapter of Hulk Hogan's life is shrouded not just in grief, but in shadow, and the truth is only just beginning to surface. Alone, the fact that Sky Daly is not Nick Hogan's biological mother makes many imagine Hulk Hogan's relationship life. Was he married to Nick's mother? When did he get married to Sky Daly? Let's take a brief look at his relationship life. More than a wrestler. In 1983, wrestling legend Hulk Hogan tied the knot with his first wife, Linda Claridge. Their marriage, once seen as a picture-perfect celebrity union, produced 2 children, Brooke, their daughter, who later pursued a music and television career, and Nick, their son. The entire Hogan family eventually became household names through their hit reality TV show, Hogan Knows Best, which offered fans an inside look into their lavish lifestyle, family dynamics, and the ups and downs of fame. However, behind the scenes, not everything was as glamorous as it appeared. In 2007, while Hogan Knows Best was still airing, the facade began to crack. Christiane Plant, a 33-year-old woman who had previously worked with Brooke on her 2006 music album, publicly claimed in an interview with the National Enquirer that she had been involved in an affair with Hulk Hogan during filming. The revelation shocked fans and sent the media into a frenzy. The allegations cast a dark cloud over the family-friendly image the show had portrayed for years. Just a few months later, on November 20, 2007, Linda Claridge officially filed for divorce in Pinellas County, Florida. A year later, she publicly confirmed that her decision to end the 24-year marriage was sparked by discovering the alleged affair. In his 2009 autobiography, Hogan pushed back against the accusations, stating that while Linda had frequently accused him of being unfaithful whenever he got close to other women, he insisted he had never crossed that line. Regardless of the truth, the damage was done. Their divorce settlement was significant. Hulk Hogan walked away with approximately 30% of the couple's liquid assets, which came to around $10 million. The emotional toll of the divorce, however, proved far more costly for him. He later admitted that he fell into a deep depression and even considered ending his life. It was his American Gladiators co-star, Layla Ali, who he credits with helping him through those dark times, providing him the support and perspective he desperately needed. In early 2008, Hogan began a new chapter when he started dating Jennifer McDaniel. Their relationship blossomed quickly, leading to an engagement in November 2009. A year later, December 14, 2010, the couple married in a private ceremony in Clearwater, Florida. For over a decade, they appeared to be happily together, but in February 2022, Hogan surprised fans by announcing via Twitter that he and McDaniel had officially divorced. Not long after that chapter closed, a new love story began to unfold. In July 2023, Hogan became engaged to Sky Daly, a yoga instructor. The proposal happened in a rather memorable setting, at the wedding reception of actor Corin Nemec. Just 2 months later, on September 22, 2023, Hogan and Sky tied the knot, marking the wrestling icon's third marriage. From a seemingly stable family man on reality TV to enduring public scandal, heartbreak, and rediscovery, Hulk Hogan's personal life has seen its fair share of twists and turns. His journey has been filled with love, loss, and resilience, and through it all, he remains a figure who continues to draw public fascination, both inside and outside the wrestling ring. How does the wrestling icon, whom everyone knows to be a macho, relate with his family at home? Let's find out who Hulk Hogan is at home, the human behind the Hulkster. Behind the muscles, fame, and iconic bandana, Terry Bollea was a man with a heart, a father, a husband, a friend. While the world knew him as Hulk Hogan, those closest to him simply knew him as Terry, a man who loved Florida's beaches, home-cooked meals, and laughing over old wrestling stories. His relationship with Sky Daly, his wife, was one of stability and renewal. A gentle soul and respected yoga instructor, Sky had brought balance into Terry's action-packed world. She introduced him to new wellness routines, spiritual grounding, and a more mindful lifestyle, something that seemed to rejuvenate the once wounded warrior. Nick Hogan spoke with pride and sorrow about his father's transformation in recent years. Dad was in better shape than most 40-year-olds, followed a strict routine, ate clean, meditated, and trained with precision. He wasn't reckless, especially not in his gym. Sky's absence during this time only intensified the tragedy. She was away briefly, and according to Nick, Hogan had been counting the minutes until she returned. She was everything to him, Nick said. She grounded him. She was his peace. Despite decades of fame, Hogan had found solace in his quieter years. Friends in Clearwater often saw him sipping coffee by the water, mingling with fans at his beachside store, or attending local charity events. He wasn't just a star, he was a hometown hero. But even in this calm, the final 48 hours of his life had become a crucial focus of the investigation. Text messages exchanged with longtime friend and wrestling legend Kevin Nash just 2 days before painted a very different picture than the tragic scene that followed. "We were joking about a show he'd been watching," Nash said. "Nothing felt off. If anything, he was buzzing with energy." Meanwhile, fans flooded the streets near his shop, leaving behind flowers, candles, and his iconic yellow bandanas. One sign read, "Thanks for the strength, Hulk. You made us feel invincible." Another simply said, "Hero. Always." The grief was personal, not just for wrestling fans, but for anyone who'd grown up hearing his raspy voice deliver lines that made you believe in courage, truth, and strength. Hogan wasn't just a wrestler. He was a symbol, and symbols don't die quietly. With the sudden announcement of his death, many questions keep revolving in the minds and lips of his fans. So, was he battling with an ailment? Was he involved in an accident? Let's dig into the details revealed about Hulk's health before his death. The truth about Hulk Hogan's health revealed just last week. Sky Daily. The wife of wrestling icon Hulk Hogan stepped in to calm growing fears about her husband's health. Fans had been swirling with anxiety and rumors, and Sky decided it was time to set the record straight. Taking to her Instagram story, she directly addressed the speculation that had caught fire online, in response to alarming questions some, even asking if Hogan was in a coma or nearing death. Sky confidently shut down the misinformation. "No, he's definitely not in a coma," she wrote. "His heart is strong, and there was never any lack of oxygen or brain damage. None of those rumors are true." Her message came as a breath of fresh air to the many fans who had been left worried and confused by the silence surrounding Hogan's condition. So what sparked this wave of concern? It all started after Hulk Hogan, known for his larger-than-life presence and vibrant public appearances, had not been seen in public since May. As weeks passed without any updates, fans began to worry. The situation escalated further in June when radio personality Todd Clembetter, known as Bubba the Love Sponge, made shocking claims about Hogan's health. According to Wrestling News, Clem stated that Hogan had been hospitalized with a serious medical issue and even alleged that the wrestler's family had been summoned to say their final goodbyes. The suggestion that the wrestling legend was possibly on his deathbed sent shockwaves across social media. The news hit hard. 8. For decades, Hulk Hogan has been seen as an unstoppable force, the face of professional wrestling, a symbol of strength, resilience, and charisma. To imagine him lying in a hospital bed, clinging to life, was difficult for many of his lifelong fans to process. But shortly after those claims made the rounds, Hogan's representatives stepped forward to offer some clarity. Speaking to TMZ, they confirmed that Hogan had indeed been hospitalized, but the situation wasn't nearly as dire as the rumors made it seem. The reps explained that Hogan was undergoing treatment for long-standing issues with his neck and back conditions he has dealt with for years due to his physically demanding wrestling career. But crucially, they emphasized that he was not on his deathbed, nor was his life in immediate danger. Sky's latest comments added a personal touch to the official statements. Coming from his wife, someone who sees him every day, her words carried even more weight. She didn't just deny the rumors. She painted a picture of a man whose body may be dealing with chronic pain, but whose spirit and vital signs remain strong. Fans around the world took a collective sigh of relief. The thought of losing such a monumental figure from the wrestling world is understandably difficult. Hogan's larger-than-life legacy spans generations, and for many, he's more than just a sports entertainer. He's a childhood hero, a symbol of grit and determination. Still, the whole episode served as a reminder of how quickly rumors can spiral. Especially in the age of social media, where one claim, true or not, can catch fire in a matter of hours, it also underscored the importance of hearing directly from loved ones or trusted sources before jumping to conclusions. For now, Hulk Hogan is recovering quietly, away from the spotlight. And while his battle with neck and back pain continues, his heart is strong, his mind is clear, and he remains very much alive. As Sky Daily so clearly put it, there is no coma, no brain damage, and no farewell speeches. The Hulkster is still here. Hulk Hogan's death is one that sends shockwaves across the entertainment world. What would he be remembered for years to come? Let's delve into the details of the legacy he left in this world. Hulkamania forever too. Talk about Hulk Hogan is to open the pages of a story far bigger than wrestling. He wasn't just a man with bulging muscles, a yellow headband, and a signature handlebar mustache. He was an era, a movement, and a memory stitched into the fabric of pop culture. Hogan wasn't just part of the wrestling world. He was the wrestling world. He transformed the ring into a global stage, where his every move sent waves of excitement through millions. From the moment he body-slammed the 7-foot-tall Andre, the giant in front of 93,000 roaring fans at WrestleMania 3, Hogan proved he was made for moments that would be remembered forever. He wasn't confined to the squared circle. He took his larger-than-life persona to Hollywood, starring in World of Entertainment. Few figures ever reached the larger-than-life status of Hulk Hogan. He wasn't just a wrestler. He was a phenomenon. From adrenaline-pumping action movies to electrifying TV shows and even chaotic reality television, Hogan was everywhere. Wherever he went, cameras followed, crowds roared. His name echoed in arenas and living rooms alike. Hulk Hogan wasn't just a man, he was a movement. He defined an era, the golden age of WWE, for a whole generation of kids. He was the reason they tore off their shirts, flexed in the mirror, and shouted Hulkamania. With wide eyes and wild energy. Whether he was playing the hero in red and yellow or switching gears to become the bad guy, one thing was always certain. All eyes were on him. People either loved him fiercely or booed him just as loudly, but no one ever ignored him. Hoga had a way of commanding attention. He didn't just perform, he captivated. But now, the unthinkable has happened, and the world is stunned. Hulk Hogan is gone. And while sadness fills the air, it's not the only thing. Questions swirl, mystery lingers. Something about his passing feels off. Was it a sudden medical emergency? A heart issue no one saw coming? Or is there something more happening beneath the surface? Something no one is saying yet. Authorities have reported a few unsettling details that has left even experienced investigators puzzled. The room where he was found was oddly neat, as though carefully arranged. Surveillance footage around the time of his death mysteriously stopped working, no glitches before or after. Even more strange, Hogan received a brief, cryptic phone call just minutes before everything went silent. It lasted less than 30 seconds. But its contents are still unknown, as toxicology results are pending and police continue tracing the final hours of his life. Experts believe digital evidence may hold the key. Metadata doesn't lie, said renowned forensic specialist Dr. Eleanor Garrison. We can see where his phone was, what he searched, who he spoke to. It all leaves a digital trail. Even what's not there can tell us something. While the investigation continues, the public holds its breath. Fans have taken over social media, flooding timelines with heartfelt tributes. Wild theories and old clips of Hogan slamming giants. And posing with his signature grin? But amid the noise, his family is asking for something simple: peace. His daughter, Brooke Hogan, released a quiet, emotional statement. We know our father touched so many lives, but right now, we just need time to grieve. And still, the tributes keep pouring in. Fellow wrestlers, celebrities, and millions of fans are remembering him not just as a performer, but as a true inspiration. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson called Hogan a game-changer and credited him with transforming professional wrestling into a global spectacle. In his longtime home of Clearwater, Florida, artists are painting a mural outside Hogan's beach shop. It shows him in his iconic pose, pointing to the sky with his legendary words underneath. What you're gonna do, brother? Life may have ended. His story is far from over. So many questions remain unanswered. The truth is wrapped in silence, and pieces of the puzzle are still missing. But even as we wait for clarity, one thing stands firm: his legacy. Hulk Hogan. wasn't just a superstar. He was a symbol of endurance. He faced scandals, career-ending injuries, personal heartbreak, and every time came back, stronger, louder, unshaken. He lifted weights, yes, but more than that, he lifted spirits. He gave people hope. He showed what it meant to fight, fall, and rise again. So now, as the world tries to make sense of it all, maybe Hogan himself, somewhere beyond the lights, beyond the crowds, is still hulking up, still telling us to say our prayers, eat our vitamins, and believe in something bigger than ourselves. Because Hulk Hogan wasn't just a wrestling legend, he was an American icon. And even in death, he's still larger than life.